If you grow it, they will come. Migrants have planted themselves in a Long Island City community garden, transforming a once vibrant green space into a littered heap of beds, suitcases, and human feces. The situation at Smiling Hogshead Ranch on Skillman Avenue has gotten so bad more and more migrants live on the site that the organization came close to having the plot taken away by the MTA, which owns the property. But the operators of the Queens Ranch say there is little they can do as the immigrants are flowing in from an overcrowded nearby shelter, and the property has no fence, gate, or security. In fact, they say that it's the MTA that should do more as a major public institution. We are a small, volunteer-based organization. We cannot provide 24/7 security. The MTA has a police force. We don't have those kinds of financial means or the volunteers in a workforce who can do something like that, board member Raido Oja told the Post. When the Post visited the garden, located on the abandoned tracks for the Degnan Terminal Line, on Thursday evening, there were 9 migrants huddled inside, including 2 men trying to sleep in the sub-freezing temperatures. The pair, from Venezuela and Ecuador, say they frequently turn to Smiling Hogshead Ranch when the nearby Austell Place migrant shelter turns them away. They have strict opening and closing hours, and we kept coming back too late, one man told the Post in Spanish. We work when we can. I sell Coca-Cola and water on the street. The pair, each swaddled in one thin blanket, sat in 2 of 3 beds tucked beneath a lean-to, the third of which is typically occupied by a Peruvian, they said. A trove of suitcases, several bicycles, shopping cars, coolers, and beer bottles were also littered around the plot. The following morning, 24 other migrants showed up at the garden after spending the night at the shelter. With nowhere else to go, the men used the facility to cook their meals. You don't want to sit here in the park. That's not good for you or anyone. You want to go to work, get some money, and get a place to live. Ali, 30, from Senegal, told the Post. According to Oja, the problem sprouted when the migrant shelter opened in August 2023, but worsened in May when Mayor Eric Adams began enforcing 60-day shelter limits. Group members have desperately called the MTA for help, placing 57 calls to 311 to report the encampments, illegal dumping, and more, but say most of the complaints were forwarded to homeless services to die. Only once did the MTA take any concrete action, Oja said. In the spring, the agency plowed over a makeshift shelter that was erected on the outskirts of the site, while also erroneously tearing down a stage the garden had made for events. The move only forced migrants deeper into the garden. The kitchen area has been taken over, the garden beds have been trampled, and a corner turned into a toilet. The MTA would not confirm if the piles of feces or the presence of the migrants were to blame for the threatened eviction. The agency said it rescinded the eviction after Smiling Hogshead Ranch agreed to erect signs prohibiting fires, storage of personal property, and entering the garden after dark. Due to a number of health and safety issues present at the Smiling Hogshead Ranch, a private garden located on property owned by the MTA Long Island Railroad, the MTA required the licensee to agree to MTA and city personnel access to the garden on an as-needed basis. Spokesperson Megan Keegan told the Post. Oja said the group was unaware of the good news when told by the Post Friday, and appeared pessimistic signs would fix the issue. Membership at the garden has plummeted over the past year. When the Post visited Thursday, the sandbox had been covered with a carpet and 2 chairs, occupied by Amidou, 40, and Ahmed, 24, as they enjoyed a cup of hot tea. The pair, both of Mauritania, said they had been in the Big Apple for a few months and regularly frequented the garden.